They still have this image of Africa as a forgotten place where this kind of thing can happen and nobody will care. That's one of the reasons why we don't.
No, I think it's part of the reason, but I don't feel that it's fully an answer. I mean, if you think about genocide that happened in, you mentioned a few examples in Rwanda.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see the points, and I can see.
It's the same with Somalia, though. Nobody knows.
No, I agree, but I mean, how much do we know about issues that have happened in the Balkans in Eastern Europe? I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel that that's fully.
It's not a realistic answer, it's just a part of it.
I don't know how you can justify it as a big conflict.
I'm just wondering, is the genocide totally to do with just Tutsi producing like the racial aspect, or is there something else?
And that's kind of genocide. It just came. Something which came unexpectedly. Well, at the beginning, it was supposed to be a political war, people fighting for power. But then, everything, that thing was there, but it was not kind of very active as it happened. No one expected that thing to happen. And that's why I think most of the people knew they would have left Rwanda earlier. No one knew. They thought people are fighting for power. After whoever wins, people are going to stay in their country. But then, when from that plane crash, the media, the Rwandan media, which was then controlled by the Hutu, publicized and said, this is what is happening, this is what is happening. And so it became a racial war instead of a political war. And that's how everyone, even the people who never had anything to do with the war, came up and tried to report. It was kind of a revenge for the people about that. But then it was from that time behind. People said we are Hutu, we are Tutsi. We have nothing in common.
Kind of links back to what Paula said. When you were talking about the racial and identification part, it's immediately in my mind it's related to in the Holocaust they had like the yellow stars or the armbands that they had to wear. And it seems to me that when you said about the Holocaust and the Second World War, in my culture I feel like we remember it, like we learn about it all the time, and it's something that's a really important and large part of our history. But then I feel like we remember it from, I don't know if you can say like from the wrong reasons. Every time it surprises me again and again that people like the Jews, for example, that have been through something like that, and it is such a great part of the history that they do absolutely nothing because we have all those things happening all over the world even now, and it strikes me that the world that has gone through all that just doesn't really, it feels like we remember very well, but from the wrong reasons. We take it to the wrong side.
So you mean it just remains really passive, like remember?
I don't know. I don't know how it is in Israel. In Israel, I don't know. We always talk about like, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like the world does nothing, so later you will be able to say, yeah, it shouldn't have happened. But I don't know. It feels like we always time we say like how horrible the Holocaust was, and of course I'm not saying for a second that it wasn't horrible. It was one of the worst things that ever happened. But then when you look at the other things that are happening now that are not less horrible, and many people just do nothing. I don't know. It's something that doesn't work out. Because when people talk about I don't know, in Israel it's something that's really big. People always talk about the Holocaust and how horrible it was. But then you have all the other things, and I don't know, people seem to just not care. I don't know. It's like really striking.
Just going back to the point that's going on.
14 years on from the Holocaust, I don't know how much was remembered and how much official remembering was going on. And this is quite a recent event in terms of that kind of global awareness. And I think it's really up to your generation and perhaps the next generation along, because the people that were there and can remember it fully maybe don't want to remember in the same way that you want to remember. And I was wondering what you would want to do in connection to meets as well. If you were to set up a remembrance of Rwanda, how would it function? Would it be in aid of other places or on focusing on what happened?
Definitely, I say, if you compare what happened to Rwanda and whatever is happening in other places, they are completely different. And the attention being given to such a thing is completely different compared to the attention that was given to Rwandan situation. Now, I'm saying Rwandan situation was really very brutal and very short. Anyone would see that, but I will say everyone, each one of us is responsible for whatever takes place on this world. And it is up to this generation, especially people in this kind of international community where you have the whole world in your hands, to make a difference. And for the part of Rwanda, what is encouraged now is grow up as one community. We don't look at each other as a community. That one is out of place and it is against the law officially. So as we grow up, the current generation goes and the new generation comes, I would say everything will be really fine. Yeah. But I'm not saying something like that cannot happen again. There are possibilities because yeah, we have people staying outside Rwanda, especially those who participated in genocide. They are staying outside the country, and we don't know whatever they are planning to do. But then, I would say, inside Rwanda, everything is okay. But apart from what people's ideologies outside the country, they would still promote that thing of racial segregation.
Just commenting on Daryl's point again, I think in addition to the fact that people have the image of chaos-stricken Africa, maybe, just maybe, these guys didn't react so much because they were so used, even from colonial time, they were so used to us fighting a lot, even just inter-civil wars, small civil wars, so maybe they just thought it was another one of us and didn't take much action. Just maybe.
Are there any comments that are following on?
Because 2 years after the genocide in Rwanda, in Bosnia as well, in Srebrenica, it was claimed as a genocide of killing some Muslims. However, there's no, except for Muslims, always commemorating that as something horrible that happened. There's no official apologies or like something done by the other sides, for example Serbs. And as well, it was very much discussed why the UN didn't do much in it, especially that that particular part of Bosnia was under done like surveillance of Holland. But it seems to me like at this stage at least that people are not ready to talk about it, because every single time Srebrenica is mentioned by Muslims, for example, because other crimes that were done by Muslims as a reaction to Serbs are not mentioned to the same, like, they cannot, because this was a genocide. The Serbs generally take it as a Western propaganda, or like they don't take it as a genuine, they just take it as a manipulation that is just that. So like maybe like we are supposed to remember genocides that happen, but you're never sure what kind of reaction the remembrance or just the commemoration of a genocide can like bring up, because people are so
Can we begin off on the point where